Tragedy struck in December.
That's when Chad Butler, known as Pimp C, died in a Los Angeles hotel room. The turnout at his funeral in Port Arthur showed just how much he was loved and admired in this area. Just this week.
All right, let's stir the pot because this celebrity gist is too loud not to spill. Wait a minute. Did Pimp C really blow the whistle on the music industry, or did someone hit the mute button on him for good? Buckle up as we unravel the theories that suggest the legendary rapper didn't just rap about the game, he paid the ultimate price for calling it out. Pimp C was born in Louisiana but raised just outside of Houston, Texas, where he didn't just face the streets, he had to square up with life itself from day one. Born premature, Pimp came into the world like, yo, I'm early, but I'm still here. And if that wasn't enough, health problems tried to slow him down like a bad Wi-Fi connection, but Pimp was out here buffering through it all. While other rappers had tough upbringings, Pimp C's childhood came with extra boss-level challenges. With his legs messed up from a birth defect, he needed braces to walk, he had to sleep like a propped-up pillow fort because of digestive issues, and he caught pneumonia so many times as a kid, it was basically on speed dial. As if that weren't bad enough, Pimp's pink eye nearly caused him to lose his vision. Pimp had always liked music, even though he suffered from severe health problems and was constantly ill. When he was younger, he began to play the drums, piano, trumpet, and other instruments. One Christmas, however, turned his life and the rap game upside down. Pimp's parents got him a drum machine and keyboard when he was 9 years old. Even though hip-hop was still in its infancy, Pimp began producing his own beats and creating rhymes. After a few years, he teamed up with his friend Bun B to form Underground Kings or UGK. In 1992, they released 2 projects on indie labels, and the tapes generated enough interest for them to sign a record deal with Jive Records the same year.
We probably their favorite group. I know Pimp, we all grew up together in the same little town, so even before it was interesting at first because we didn't really like each other. Pimp and I are very, very different persons.
The industry was dominated by New York at the time. The largest musicians were all from the East Coast, but Pimp C and Bun B altered the course of history by highlighting the South. The hip-hop chart peaked at number 23 with their debut album. In 1994, they returned with an even more successful album, and 2 years later, with the release of Ridin' Dirty, they became well-known. After years of hard work and a growing fan base, Ridin' Dirty elevated everything to a new plane, and everyone was taken aback by what transpired next. Following the release of Ridin' Dirty and the over 1 million records they sold, Pimp C and Bun B decided to step back and relax. No one understood why they would give up as soon as they were about to succeed. After 10 years in the industry, many believed they were losing all of the momentum they had gained, but UGK once again disproved everyone. They made a comeback in 2000, jumping on Jay-Z's song Big Pimpin'. Rap fans were already familiar with Pimp C and Bun B, but Big Pimpin' grabbed everyone's attention. UGK was still at the height of their game, as evidenced by the track's platinum status. After the release of Big Pimpin', there was a lot of hype surrounding their upcoming album, but their label made a mistake and didn't release it until a year later. They lost a lot of money and influence when Jive Records folded, but things became ugly when something much worse happened. Pimp C once got into a feud with Master P of No Limit Records. It was unclear exactly what triggered the situation, but Pimp once made fun of him on stage, which prompted Master P to show up with his henchmen and take Pimp C hostage. They were supposedly going to kill him after beating him with firearms, but Master P called Jay Prince to obtain the go-ahead. According to reports, Pimp later verified the allegation on the song I Know You Strapped, claiming that Prince instructed him to back off, and that's when things ended. Those close to the case claim that Pimp began carrying a gun everywhere he went after that. That ultimately resulted in him receiving an 8-year prison sentence on December 16, 2000. Pimp C and UGK were undoubtedly hurt by his imprisonment, yet he was only sentenced to 3 years before being released. It was unclear whether Pimp C would have the same kind of industry buzz, but 2 years later, he and Bun B released their 5th album, solidifying their place in the annals of music history. The track I Choose You, which is the international players' anthem from their album Underground Kings, became their biggest hit to date. The album opened at #1 on the Billboard 2000. By the time they received a Grammy nomination for it as well, it was obvious that UGK would not be stopped. After collaborating for years, Pimp and Bun were now receiving the recognition that their admirers had always felt they deserved. However, tragedy happened a few months after the album was released, severely harming the rap industry. Pimp C was staying in California in December 2007 while working on new music. After Too Short's performance, he was supposed to have dinner with him a few days later, but Pimp never showed up. He was supposed to fly home and be picked up by his wife Chanira, but when she didn't hear from him that day, she contacted the hotel and requested them to check on him. And Pimp C was dead in his room when the hotel workers arrived. Rick Martin, Pimp C's manager, claimed that Pimp was covered in blood and was kneeling as if in prayer. Although the official report states that he died from a combination of lean and sleep apnea, initially they believed he had been shot in the head.
Big pimpin', baby.
Pimp frequently rapped about being slender and having health problems. Like, on Big Pimpin', he said, "Pouring up. Keepin' lean up in my cup." And it can be fatal to combine that with a condition like sleep apnea, but many believe there's more to the story. Pimp wanted to unite all of Southern rap so that everyone could benefit, not just collect his bread when he was released from prison. Record labels, he claimed, were instigating rap feuds to keep musicians apart and prevent them from uniting and growing stronger. Pimp was aware that everyone would benefit financially if the drama abated and cooperation prevailed. Additionally, Pimp released a bizarre interview with Ozone in which he threatened to expose the industry and lashed out at Russell Simmons of Def Jam. Now, the question is, did Pimp C know too much about the dark side of the music industry, and did that knowledge make him a target? Julia Beverly, the author of a biography on Pimp C, claims that his mother thinks the overdose wasn't an accident at all. When he passed away, she claimed that a very shady, strange character was present.
Someone with him when he passed who was a very shady, strange character. So there is actually a person of interest, according to his mother, that she believed had something to do with his death. So I wasn't able to really definitively.
Additionally, Too Short believes that Pimp's demise was dubious. He claimed that after everything happened, he sought to find out more about the incident, but no one was willing to help.
My guy Pimp C,
Right.
who was like my little brother and who I saw probably 48 hours before.
His main concern was whether Pimp's hotel room door was locked when staff members visited to see how he was doing. If the door was locked and he was inside alone, it was most likely an accident, but if they entered and the door was already unlocked, it may indicate that, contrary to what Pimp's mother thinks, someone had truly poisoned him.
Like, was it the lock? Like, tell me something. Like, you know what I mean? And the most I could get was, I never got if the door was locked or not. I had to break it down. Because if the door wasn't locked, that means somebody left out.
Right.
If the door was locked, that means he felt good. He locked it. He was in there.
Right.
It's a whole different.
According to Shorts of Vlad TV, there are many strange incidents of artists passing away in hotel rooms by themselves, and there may be more going on behind the scenes. He brought up the fact that album sales always rise following the passing of an artist, which is a point that some use against Diddy in their accusations that he killed Biggie to boost record sales. Sadly, we may never learn for sure what actually transpired with Pimp C. His drug usage and health issues may be intertwined, but it's unlikely that there was a plot to kill him off before he could bring the Southern rap scene together. But regardless of how it happened, the rap game lost an icon when he passed. Pimp C and Bun B helped pave the way for every Southern rapper in the industry right now, and his legacy lives on through the wave he helped create. Could Pimp C's influence have threatened industry powers to the point of wanting him out of the picture? Let us know in the comment section below. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up for more juicy gist as this. See you in our next video.